Determine whether the function f of x equals x over 1 minus x squared is even, odd, or neither. Well, let's do a quick review of what even and odd mean, what it means to say that a function is either even or odd. So if we say that a function is even, what we mean is that f of negative x equals f of x. This means that if we replace x in this equation with negative x, if that equals the same as our original expression here, then the function is even. What about odd? Well, if the function is odd, it's the same as saying that f of negative x equals negative f of x. In other words, for this expression, if we replace each one of these x's with negative x, then simplify the expression, if this equals the negative of this expression, in other words, this expression with a negative 1 outside the front, then the function is odd. And if neither of these statements is true, then the function is neither even nor odd. So the easiest way to figure out whether this function is even or odd or neither is to consider f of minus x, or negative x, and then to evaluate it. So here what we're going to do is we're going to replace, whenever we see an x, we're going to replace that with a negative x, and then we're going to simplify it. So here f of negative x equals, well, we have an x here, so we're going to write negative x, and then all over 1 minus, we've got another x here, so we'll say negative x squared. Okay, let's simplify this. So this is the same as saying negative x over 1 minus, and then we've got this negative x all squared. So in blue to the side here, let's consider what this means. So negative x squared, well, that's the same as saying negative x times negative x. Well, negative x times negative x, that's a negative times a negative. Negative multiplied by a negative is a positive. Then we've got x times x. X multiplied by x, that's just x squared. So we've got positive x squared. In other words, here we can write that negative x squared is just x squared. Now that's simplified. We could do one other thing here which will be interesting. I'd say let's take this negative sign. At the moment, it's applied directly to the numerator. However, we could just take it off the numerator and apply it to the whole expression. So in other words, if we were to write this statement, that's exactly the same statement. So it's not applied directly to the numerator now, it's to the whole equation, but this is exactly the same. These two statements are equal. Okay, and let's determine whether f of negative x is the same as f of x. Well, here, clearly it isn't. We've got minus x over 1 minus x squared here, whereas for f of x, we have x over 1 minus x squared. But what we do notice is that we could simply write minus, well, this expression in brackets here, this is the same as f of x. So what we could do is we could say that f of minus x, f of negative x, is the same as negative f of x. Simply, f of x equals this statement. We've got negative this statement, so this is negative f of x. Well, because f of negative x equals negative f of x, that corresponds to this condition that we wrote above. Consequently, the function is odd. So we've determined that this function is odd.